The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When David speaks this, he's not ignoring the reality of enemies. He's naming where his confidence is rooted. Light isn't just the absence of darkness, it's the revealing of truth, the pulling back of shadows, the clarity when confusion is trying to cloud your steps. Salvation isn't just rescue from the outside, it's rescue from within. Because sometimes the enemy isn't a person, it's that thought that keeps whispering, "You're not enough." Sometimes the battle isn't an army, it's the old habits that come back when you're tired. Elul calls us to see both, the ones out there and the ones in here. Soul accounting begins when we bring them into the light and remember, fear has no authority when God is our strength. When the wicked came against me to eat up my flesh, my enemies and foes, they stumbled and fell. There's something raw here, like the image of someone devouring, consuming, draining you. That's what destructive patterns do. They eat at your soul. They eat at your joy. But notice, the psalmist doesn't say, "I beat them." He says they stumbled and fell. That's the grace part. When you stand with the Lord as your strength, enemies collapse under their own weight. Even those inner enemies, anger, addiction, self-doubt, they eventually crumble when they run into God's presence. But that requires honesty. That requires looking at your ledger in Elul and saying, what has been eating at me? What have I let sit at my table too long? Though an army may encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war may rise against me, in this I will be confident. This is not a casual line. This is a soul steeling itself when everything presses in. Sometimes the army isn't soldiers, it's anxieties lining up one after another, bills, relationships, regrets, the weight of the future. They encamp. They don't just pass by, they set up tents and try to take ground in your mind. But David says, "My heart shall not fear." Not because he's stronger, but because he knows where his confidence lives. That's Elul, walking into the battlefield of your own heart and deciding which voice you're going to trust. The voices of fear or the confidence that the Lord is still with you. One thing I have desired of the Lord, that will I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. Here's the shift. He's been talking about enemies, war, fear, but now desire. Not escape, not revenge, but presence. He doesn't say one thing I want is to never have enemies again. He says one thing I want is God. Because when your heart is set on beholding his beauty, the power of enemies inside and out shrinks. Soul accounting isn't just tallying up what's wrong, it's setting your desire on what's right. It's remembering that what you fix your eyes on is what shapes your life. And when you're in the house of the Lord, even when the battle still rages, peace starts to rise inside of you. Stay in that place of desire. Count the cost, yes. Acknowledge the enemies both in the world and in your own chest. But let the one thing, the main thing, be this: to dwell, to behold, to inquire. And let that desire pull you closer, even in this season of reckoning. Thanks for listening. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment, and don't forget to like and share.